morning, guys. Thanks for coming. We're probably listening. Just open up the question.
Start over here to the right, Clay.
You talked about the transition from this year to next year being a mass exodus, I think is the word you used. Do you have in your head a number of juniors who might make the jump?
No, it's
Or is that him?
I kind of do, but we're just avoiding all that conversation until focus is on this bowl game.
And how do you balance winning the game with getting those reps for replacements?
So you really, the way we break down practice, we really always done it for bowl games. This year, there's guys that played 1,000 reps this year, so one time, especially when we were a group of young players that were elite players. Say it fits the world and we'll keep them moving up there. We'll also extend from that inside drill, for example, under the boiler that that's the question. We'll go 5-5 with the 1s and 2s, and then we go 15 reps. We just increase those reps.
Front row middle, Dave.
With the success you guys had offensively against your rivals with Coach Warner coaching from the press box, do you think that's the way you're going to go moving forward, both this season and next season? This game. And do you anticipate any coaching changes on your offensive staff during the offseason?
I'm not sure. I think right now, no. I'm not on that evaluation phase yet. Our focus is on recruiting and winning this game.
Second row left, Ari.
Coach, you guys, when you got here, set out to keep all of the top talent in the state, and you guys have done a really good job of doing that so far. But there's been one program that's been able to come in and take guys from Ohio that you want, and that's Notre Dame. Having been an assistant there, can you speak to the importance of theology and some of the things that they have in terms of a presence in some of the Catholic schools that you guys are recruiting?
Well, I've recruited for years and years ago, especially with Catholic school. But they've done a job. They came up north. I mean, this is the state. It's the school. That's the school. I think we've done a pretty good job.
And with Chris Ash, you guys are, he's still going to be coaching through the bowl, and he's here preparing for the game and helping the team get ready. What's it like to help prepare the team with him during the day and recruit against him at night?
That's a great question. The class is so spots left. I've had Tom Herman, and I've had Mississippi State. One thing I would ask is just make sure you're professional about your job. He's the most important person in all of this, people in all of this, the players. When you look at Jerry was giving you some of these stats, and we got a chance to get 4 years, so he's very professional. He's done this in the game.
Front row right, Rob.
Urban, can you detail your history with Greg Schiano a little bit, and how important was it, his NFL background? What does that bring to this program?
Coach Schiano and I go back many, many years. We first met when I was at Notre Dame. He was at Chicago Bears. We hit off. Path started going. I think we became head coaches at the same time at a very young age. Too young. It was 2001. And we just always remained in touch. They were very close.
What about the NFL
Well, I think anytime you have a guy that, that's the catch thing. That's a big part of recruiting. That's a big part of just instantaneous respect. And, really we'll lean on him quite a bit.
Right next, Tim.
Yeah, Urban, couple, following up on that, what is the dynamic you expect out of the defensive coaches meeting room over these several weeks with Greg in there, I guess, now and stuff, and, will he actually coach in the bowl game?
No,
or-
no,
Yeah.
he's not in there now. Luke's the defense coordinator.
Yeah.
And did a heck of a job for us this year, second in the nation in scoring defense. I see Greg, once Chris leaves, assuming a very similar role that Chris was in fact higher.
Mhm.
As you notice, I like to do two people kind of in that room, leading dictatorships. I think the teams staff too. So.
Yeah, and what made that Chris Ash, Luke Fickell thing work in your mind? Was it?
Two incredible human beings. Coach Combs, just incredible. That's the number one thing when I try to hire someone, is I'm looking for chemistry people, good people. A guy like Greg Schiano, you got to actually hire him to work.
Yeah.
Now, what's the dynamics? You have Luke Fickell, one of the best people I've ever met. A lot of selflessness.
The other thing, you got this a minute ago, Bowling Green, you get your first shot being a head coach. Obviously, Brian Kelly, his first job with Grand Valley State was a head coach, but he moved to Central Michigan. What is it about being in the MAC? Did it allow you to kind of spread your wings, make mistakes, but also kind of go after it in your own way? I mean, what is it about being in that league, I guess? That you spread your wings?
I just think it's, whether it's everybody's almost should be very much should go coach in that conference. I remember helping push on our season at the practice. It's much better now. It's much better in that conference. We had no video coordinator. The video coordinator was a student would come by campus and not kidding. Stand like this, video practice. Not one of the big ones.
Yeah.
See, that's some things changed. That's why I just think I appreciate guys like Terry Thompson that go up and down to the road. So I think everyone should go through that process.
Did Brian catch your eye? I mean, obviously, did he catch your eye as a coach? Were you, what he did at Grand Valley State and in Central Michigan, did he catch your eye? Yeah.
Sure, and then Cincinnati
Yeah.
for a while. And, I actually went down to Washington practice. What he did at UC was
Second row left, Lori.
Coach, you talk about alignment in the staff all the time. With Greg, do you think it's going to be tougher for him because get on the same page because he comes in with his own book?
Well, our books are very similar. Those books have been many conversations over the years. And once again, the most important element of any hire to me is character and quality of human being. And there's none better.
Could you talk about Notre Dame and what you see in their teams?
Yeah, I've seen a couple first rounders on defense, probably more than that. Very good. They still see chunks of yardage, usually find formation, find a situation, find a team that had a lot of success. And, very good team. Offensively, I know this year, I haven't studied them a lot yet. Very good offensive line, that's their strength. They got a dynamic receiver. Quarterback does a nice job. He runs as well as throws. And just you got a team that could be playing for the national title.
Front row right, Austin.
Urban, Cardale's kind of already suggested that he'll be gone after this year. When you look at his 4 years, the highs and lows, I guess, what do you think, how should he be remembered if he does end up leaving?
Well, he's a national champion. He's undefeated as a starter. It'll be a story that many people talk for many years. We wish him well. New endeavors. I love Cardale and very much appreciate everything he's done. Once again, he's a national champion. There's been only a few of those. Was it 8? Been 8 of them here. And he's one of 8. And I don't imagine there's ever been a quarterback undefeated as a starter. Jury in there. Question. Maybe Kenny Dyke.
Well, 10 or more starts, no.
Kenny got you.
But I don't, but,
You know,
right, we got a couple 2-0 guys, but 10 or more.
Smooth jazz made his way to our press conference.
And you were asked earlier about, changing things up for the last week of the season with your offensive staff, and you're going to stick with that at least for one more week. What was kind of the motivation for that, and how difficult had been the communication throughout the year as you tried to replace Tom?
It was not easy. I think Ed Warner, you can't to coach all 5 guys and to be able to have significant input in the play calling. It's just you need a stable, Tim Beck and him was a pretty good
Far left over there, Doug.
But I think you mentioned how in the playoff era now, there's just such focus on sort of those 4 teams, and you guys lived it. Now, you guys aren't in the playoff. This is, it's always been an issue when you go into a bowl and maybe you're not the national championship. Will your team be where they need to be ready to play in this game? Is that a concern at all?
Well, there's indicators. I've mentioned that throughout the course of the year. What are indicators of a team that's entitled? What's an indicator of a team that when you're defending national champ and you're this. Well, academics and effort and those type of things, and we had a great indicator, and that was we got on buses for 3 hours. We went up to a team that doesn't necessarily have a lot of affection for Ohio State, and played as hard as we possibly played, and won a game against a very good team. So that's a very good indication of what kind of human beings we have on this team. And so I would anticipate that we'd play our tails off.
And when you look at the season that JT had, still having, did he get better, you think, this year? I mean, he was so good last year, in the first time he ever played. Is he a better quarterback now? Did he back up in any way? Is he pretty much the same? How do you think?
I think the way he's finishing, he's I haven't evaluated that yet. I think his injury did, set him out of spring practice. Was not JT of himself during the summer, and then obviously the dual situation we were playing with. So I think any time that you are the starting quarterback next year, as the starting quarterback, I would anticipate a nice gradual incline during the season.
Third row left, Eric.
How's the health of the team right now? I know that some guys like Harris Campbell with that with some stuff pretty much all
Harris
season.
is fine. I think we're good.
Is there any, obviously Adolphus can't play, but what does that do for your depth in the defensive line position?
Yeah, Tommy Shutt also hurt his foot. I don't know how bad he got. But that's, we've got depth issues inside right now on defense. But that's, Mike Hill's been playing pretty good. You got Joel Hill. You got
Munger.
Donovan Munger. Another guy there.
Tracy Sprinkle.
Sprinkle's actually been playing much better. So it'll be a rotation. And then Joey Bosa goes in there quite a bit too.
What'd you say about Schiano? His foot, it's
Not
questionable?
quite sure.
Not quite sure?
Back row middle, Steve.
Hey, Coach,
Last 2 questions.
I know that on the teleconference you talked about your experience at Notre Dame I was asked to ask you this question, just Notre Dame spiritually, football-wise, career-wise, what did that whole experience mean to you?
Game changer. It was when Lou Holtz made the call. I was in Fort Collins, Colorado, and asked me to join the staff at Notre Dame, and that was a game changer. And I remember walking through that campus, and probably one of the greatest things that I remember is my son was baptized in the Long Chapel, the original building there. Father Reilly, who passed away, was one of my dear, dear friends. And then also my mom was diagnosed, it was the second or third time it came back. And I remember going to the grotto every night for had to be 4 years on the way home from work. So a special place, and a special place in my heart.
And final questions, second row right here, Dave.
Urban, I know things have worked out with you at quarterback, but what do you remember about the recruitment of Deshaun Kaiser out of Toledo? Were you guys close to pulling the trigger there?
You know, real close. I can't remember exactly. Tom, I remember, was more involved in that, but really liked him.
What have you seen from him in kind of the bits and pieces you've?
A big dude that runs well and throws well. Yeah, he's done a very nice job for him.
Great. Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.